and non-binaries. We're digging up the past, but dig is necessary. We'll take a look at dirty crooks, make no apologies. Gonna sock your mind, learn what's behind these ideologies.
We're gonna turn it on. The show is only an hour. We're gonna spit some rhymes, share some history, a touch of minstrelsy.
Falconworks is a community theater, but it's also, in this production, it's bringing in all of these people from all different backgrounds. It definitely plays to our community of Red Hook. This cast is just insanely talented.
Aaron!
Mia. Amanda.
Brian!
Miriam.
Charles!
Hillary. Dante.
Race. Ready, Set, Race is going to be a hit maker because of the simple fact that I don't care who you are. You gotta love some type of rap. Rock has rap in it. Gospel has rap in it. It's rapping, singing, dancing, and we're interacting with the crowd.
When I do my opening rap, it kind of highlights everything that the show is about. I just say, this is a race review, we do that is ready, set, go, about to bust your status quo. That's a Q to the U to the O.
This play really breaks down the history of race and how it was formulated and why, and how that has shaped the society that we live in today, and why we may have prejudices because we have learned things that we think are innate but are actually man-made.
The work that we have produced has always been an attempt to get people to think about the world that they live in and how they might want to change that, and then to even while they're in the theater, start to strategize together about ways to start implementing some kinds of changes or to think about things that they could start to implement in their own lives. If people think of that as community theater, that's great.
I think community theater is phenomenal. I think it's what Theater of the Oppressed needs, and I think it's vital. I wish all communities were, that were actually looking at stories that meant something to the community as opposed to producing Neil Simon plays.
The songs kind of give this tongue-in-cheek vibe to the play where you're given all this very upsetting information, but through song. One of the songs is actually called Colonial American Booty Call. Reg wrote the lyrics thinking about a colony trying to seduce the British Empire. I was like, okay, well, let's make a 90s sounding R&B slow jam.
Ring, ring, ring. Hey, baby. You remember me? The colonies.
I'll get your purple mountains. And your fruited plains.
Boy, you crazy.
Crazy about you. Booty call. A colonial American booty call.
There's actually a fun part of the play, this is going to be a spoiler alert, where we instruct the audience to literally look online to find the laws that were set in place in the 1600s through the 1700s about any non-white peoples and how they were made as to be property, and these laws are literally still online today.
You've got Google up, you're searching Virginia Assembly Slave Act 1705, and we're looking for codes started in 1680. Take your time, don't rush, don't panic, mind your breathing, and while you're searching, we just got a little tune for you. Come on now, take us up now.
25-year racism, white supremacy into law. If you wonder where is this going, we gon' leave that up to y'all. Since it's 25-year racism, that's a hell of a thing to do. But we show you how they do it before the song gets through.
All right, so who's got a code that was established in 1680? I think we got one. Boom.
It becomes legal for a white person or person to kill an escaped slave who resists capture. Slaves also are forbidden to arm themselves for either offensive or defensive purposes. Punishment, 20 lashes on one's bare back.
white supremacy is introduced into the colonies as a social control mechanism, as a way to, first of all, prevent class solidarity in the labor classes. And that class was made up of Africans, Englishmen, Scotsmen. Suddenly, that class was divided into whites and blacks. In fact, the idea of white as a racial classification doesn't happen until the 1680s as part of miscegenation laws.
This was the invention of the white race.
Perhaps the greatest feat of magic ever realized.
Invented for the express purpose of driving a wedge between the European and African labor. The white race! Dividing a community who had shared common cause for 50 years. The white race! Invented by a clever ruling class to protect the capital interests and the interests of the crowd. The white race! And some still embrace the notion of white supremacy to this day. The white race! One more time, y'all. What it